Paradoxes are weird. As by definition, let me get my notes up. As by definition, by Merriam-Webster, a paradox is a person or thing that has seemingly contradictory qualities or phases. Thank you to the video by the Paint Explainers called Every Paradox in 8 Minutes. This is not a mockery of your video. It is simply the easiest source I could find for a large list of these things. Because those things peeve me. Paradoxes are bullcrap. I don't know if I've said this. I don't really have a script. A very loose one. They have mentioned their video is for entertainment / mild education, but their purpose in this video was to spark your education to do more research, and I encourage you to do the same. I am a random person on the internet who is yapping about things that make them somewhat mad. Note, I'm not going to cover all the paradoxes mentioned, because a lot of them get into, data analysis, and economy, and politics. Only, one of them gets into I digress. I'm not an expert in those fields, and I find those fields boring. So we're not going to talk about them. Starting off strong, we have the grandfather paradox. The paradox says, if you go back in time and prevent your grandfather from meeting your grandma, the events that ensue will make it so you are eventually not born. However, if you are not born, who will go back in time to stop your granddad? I assume that the way this would go is you walk up to the time machine, go back in time. We're going to say that you murder your granddad. You murder your granddad. You go back through the time machine, and then you stop existing. And in that timeline, you just don't exist. And then it happens again in another timeline, and it keeps going on like that forever. And then you just stop existing. Good job, you did it. Achilles and the tortoise. This is not a paradox. This is called stupidity. Achilles gives the tortoise a head start in a race. Achilles will never pass the tortoise because every time he reaches the tortoise will move. No, tortoise move like this much. Human athlete who is a professional at running move this much. Nuh-uh. That's not how it works. Ship of Theseus. Again, not a paradox. This is a thought experiment. This is going to be a theme for this video. A lot of things they're going to say are a paradox are not a paradox. The Ship of Theseus. You have a ship. You replace all parts of ship. Is ship same ship? And also, if you got all the old parts and made a new ship, is ship still Ship of Theseus? To answer the first part of the question, we're going to start with a fun factoid that I learned from a Gravity Falls book, so it's probably true. Did you know that your cells finish replacing all of themselves after 7 years? You are physically not the same person you were 7 years ago, even down to your cells. However, let's say, for instance, you murdered someone 7 years ago. You're still going to be held accountable for that, even though you're physically not the same person. Same goes for, basic memories. If you want a less violent one, you probably remember what happened 7 years ago. Like I do. I was eating cereal while, watching YouTube. Congrats, we did it. Let's go. We solved philosophy, guys. But let's say this. You get all the dead human cells from the past 7 years of your life and you reconstruct them and reanimate them back. Which one is you? I'd argue you're both you, just one's a younger version of you. One is a younger version of you. I know ships don't age, but I feel like you can still apply that philosophy. One is the new Ship of Theseus, the other is the old Ship of Theseus. They're both the Ship of Theseus. Philosophy is easy. I don't know why people go to college for this. The Sorites or Socrates paradox. I don't know Greek. I probably mispronounced that. That might not even be Greek. I might be stupid. I am stupid. I'm making this video. You have a heap of sand and remove 1 grain at a time. When does it stop being a heap? Not a paradox. A question. I always consider a heap to be a pile that is about human-sized. So I say the moment it stops being a little smaller than you, it is no longer a heap. The barbershop paradox. Finally, an actual paradox. There is a barber who only shaves those who do not shave themselves. Does the barber shave himself? I say personally, it depends on how well the barber's a word. The barber keeps his beard. If he keeps it very well, it's very clean, it's very well groomed, then I say he doesn't really need to worry about shaving. This is someone who did not do much prep other than grabbing a Mothman costume for this video. I don't know. I don't know. I digress. If he has a filthy beard, he needs to get over himself. My brother in Christ, rats don't want to live in your beard. The plague would not want to live in your beard. If it is this bad, it doesn't even need to be that bad. If your beard's dirty, shave it or clean it. Heck, it's really up to him, but if it needs to be shaved, either A, get over yourself, shave it yourself, or B, get another barber to shave you. So, there we go. First paradox down. Again, I don't know why people go to college for this. Catch 22. Needing something you can only have if you don't need it. The example that this video provides is there is a pilot who is supposedly insane, or is insane. I'll use the words they use. There's a pilot who is insane. He decides not to go fly a plane because he is insane. However, by him deciding not to fly the plane, that makes him seem more sane. It just seems to me like he's like in between both of them. Like he has enough logic to know not to fly, but he still might be considered. Paradoxes rely on a lot of things being either or, and there's not a lot of nuance. I don't know. I don't know. The Fermi paradox, not a paradox. This is a conspiracy theory. If the universe is infinite, why haven't we found aliens yet? Not a paradox. I think I already said that. I feel like I'm going to be saying that phrase a lot. Do you realize how big infinity is? It's at least this many feet across, and at least this many meters for my non-American viewers. Infinity is pretty big. It's like this big, at least. So, I don't know, man. Maybe we'll find aliens, maybe not. I think eventually we will find them. But again, the universe is infinite. That's pretty big. Opposite day paradox. If I say opposite day, is it? If I say it's opposite day, is it? For me, it depends on how you play the game known as opposite day. Me personally, once you say it's opposite day, that sentence itself is not affected. However, all following sentences are. Yes, that is how I play opposite day. I don't know what I was gonna say, but that's how you play opposite day, where I'm from. The bootstrap paradox. If a time traveler gives a young Einstein a book about the theory of relativity, and then publishes it, and then baby Einstein publishes it as his own, who wrote the original publisher? This is very simple. It's just our timeline's Einstein. I don't know how else to explain it. Our publisher's Einstein is the original. Our timeline's Einstein is the original publisher. Olber's paradox. Why is the sky dark at night even though there's a bunch of stars? Not a paradox. How is that contradictory? It's not. I mean, I guess I see it as, there's a bunch of stars at night, but it's dark outside. Do you know how far away those stars are? Like really, really far away. They're pretty far away, I'd say. So that's why, because they're far away, and also like, if I get a flashlight and shine it at you from really far away, you're probably only gonna see a little white dot. It's not gonna light up the entire cone around it. I don't know why it doesn't do that, but it just doesn't. The unexpected hanging paradox. A prisoner is being executed and is told. A prisoner is being executed and is told that it will be sometime within the next week when they least expect it. How do you know when the prisoner's gonna least expect it? Are you monitoring their every move? Like, oh yeah, his adrenaline levels are the lowest right now, as it's been a week. We've been studying the averages of his adrenaline. We have deemed that he is the least panicked right this second. He will never be less panicked throughout the entire week, which means he is least expecting it. We will now take him out of his cell and take him in front of a noose because it's hanging. It's called the hanging prisoner paradox. Presumably, there is a noose involved. We will now take him in front of the noose. He probably still does not suspect a thing. The thing is, the moment you bring him out to be executed, he'll start to expect that it's right then. So unless you bring him out for multiple fake ones, you have to do a lot of psyching out for him to never expect it. Or, you can always just shoot him in his sleep, but then it's not the hanging prisoner paradox. It's the shoot the prisoner in the face paradox. Which I'd love to see that movie be made. Next up, let me re-bright the screen. The Pinocchio paradox. If Pinocchio says, "My nose will grow," what happens? If it is true, his nose will grow, which means... Wait, sorry. If it is true, it means his nose will not grow, which makes it wrong, which will make it grow. See the problem here. This assumes... Okay. If Pinocchio says, "My nose will grow," his nose does not grow right then, which makes it a lie, which means his nose grows. I mean, it became a truth, but it was still a lie in the moment. If I have a piece of blue paper and I say, "This piece of blue paper is red," that's a lie. I lied to you. I apologize. I'll never do it again. Anyway, then I take the blue paper and I paint it red. And then I say, "It's red now." I still lied initially. It's true now, but I was lying initially. The thing is, like, his nose will grow, but it's not going to ungrow, you know? So freaking smart. One second. The crocodile paradox. A crocodile steals your child and says they will let the child go if you can guess correctly what they will do. If you say that the child will not be returned, the crocodile will be, "Yeah, dang right." But then it has to return the child, and it would break its own rules. Why does this crocodile have such a strict set of morals? It's a crocodile. It's a dinosaur. It doesn't need to follow morals. Morals are a human invention. It's a dinosaur. It's been around for at least this many years before humans were a thing. And also, who really cares about what existential crisis the crocodiles are having? He let go of your child. You can go now. In fact, I implore you to go now. The crocodiles are very fast. The moment he stops having an existential crisis, he's going to get you. The unstoppable force and immovable object paradox. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention it. The one before it, the crocodile paradox, oh, it's a paradox. Good job. We did it. We found another paradox. And we're going to keep it rolling. We have another one. Let's freaking go. Unstoppable force versus immovable object. It's a tale as old as time. If an unstoppable force hits an immovable object, what happens? I mean, I'm going to put down the microphone for this one. Immovable object, unstoppable force, hit, slide. It's still moving. It just it's not being stopped. It's being moved. If a racer is running and if a track star is running and they have to change directions, they're not stopping. You know, if they, assuming it's a boulder, it's always depicted as a boulder and then like a beam of energy. It's just gonna slide off of it, and it's still moving, and it didn't get stopped. It got diverted, which isn't the same thing, because I said so. The dichotomy paradox. There is a destination, but to get there, you must go half of the way of the remaining distance each time. Meaning you'd get closer, but would never get there. Yes, that is true. You would never get there. But the thing is, at a certain point, you're moving by like fractions of a fractions of a fractions, and you can't do that. You have big human feet, presumably, which on average are more than a few centimeters. So eventually, you're just gonna have to get over yourself and just make that final step. The Fletcher paradox, and this one's not a paradox. This one is just someone being stupid with physics. Though it seems an arrow in motion constantly changes position, it can't move to where it isn't or where it is, making it stationary. Says who? Why? That sounds... If you fire an arrow at someone and tell them that, no, the arrow is stationary, you don't need to move, and then tell them that as they're on the ground bleeding to death with an arrow in their shoulder, presumably. Like, that's not good. The Hilbert Hotel paradox. I do not want to talk about this one because there's a video by Veritasium on it that covers it a lot more in depth and shows a lot of other scenarios they can do within the situation that the prompt, due to lack of a better word, sets up. And I actually really like that video, and I recommend you watch it. And I'll put a link in the description for you to watch afterwards. The liar paradox. Someone comes up to you and says, this sentence is a lie. If the sentence is a lie, then A, they are telling the truth, and that makes it a lie. I wrote a script, actually, which makes it true, and so on and so forth. It keeps looping in on itself. Solution. Do not talk to strangers. This person is trolling you. Please continue to walk. Sorry, my dogs are acting crazy. 1 second. I have successfully calmed my dogs down. They will now be guest members. You will probably see their ears. 1 second. Where were we? Liar paradox. Yeah, don't talk to strangers. Keep going. They're trolling you. The millet paradox. If you drop a singular millet grain, it makes no sound. But when you drop a bunch of millet grains, it makes a sound. It does make a sound. It makes a really tiny, quiet sound that we can't hear. So when you drop a bunch of them, it makes a bunch of tiny sounds that combine into big sound. Congratulations! You have ears. The instability-stability paradox. If two countries both have nuclear weapons, then the chances of them having a direct war goes down, but the chances of them having smaller battles goes up. That's just called mutual assured destruction. It's not a paradox. It's just kind of like, I don't want to be nuked. I don't want to be nuked either. Are you okay with being shot? I'm okay with being shot. Basically how that goes. Schrodinger's cat. Not a fuck. Not a paradox. It's not. It's just not. Allergies are killing me. I'm sorry. I will get into this. If you put a cat in an air-sealed box and then have a machine that randomly dispenses poison into the box, assuming neither the cat nor machine are observers, the cat is both alive and dead until it is observed. Bullcrap. No, cats have 9 lives. It can't have 4.5 lives. That's how living works. No. Also, if you put a cat in an air-sealed box and just leave and come back in a year, I guarantee you it's dead. It doesn't matter if you're looking at the cat or not. That thing's dead. You've left it in a box for a year with no food, no water, no air. Who cares? It doesn't even matter if the poison machine goes off at that point. If you leave a cat in a box for long enough, it's going to die. Schrodinger's cat is bullcrap. I don't care about quantum theory. We're not talking about quantum theory. We're talking about paradoxes. Because for some reason, the quantum theory hypothetical isn't the paradox video. Which, I don't know, man. I'm tired. This video is becoming less and less funny the more I talk. If you have 2 identical twins and one becomes an astronaut and goes into space at the speed of light, it goes into space on a ship that travels the speed of light, when that twin comes back, the other twin will be older. Not a paradox. That is how physics works. It's weird, but that's just time dilation. It's not contradictory. Faster you go, less time you experience. Seriously, I don't know why people go to school for psychology. It's so easy. Temperature paradox. And this is the one that grinds my gears the most. The one that peeves me, mildly perturbs me, if you will. If the temperature is 90 degrees and the temperature is also rising, does that mean 90 is rising? If the temperature is 90, does that mean 90 itself, as in the temperature required to be 90 degrees Fahrenheit, is rising? I'm going to move on. I feel like you know this. I feel like we all know this. The answer is no. The uninteresting paradox. I was going to skip it because of its name, but I have to read it. Because I don't know, man. The gnome mafia or something is going to get me. If something is considered the least interesting thing, then it immediately becomes more interesting. Yes. Yeah, congratulations. You figured it out. You won existence. You beat the game. You won. Your reward? I wasn't told I wasn't told that the winner was gonna watch this video today. All right. I was not told that the winner was gonna be here today. I'll play you a song on my ukulele. I assure you, I know how to play ukulele. Preparedness paradox. When a disaster is aptly prepared for, the threat seems less harmful than it actually could have been. Again, that's just kind of how the human brain works. If you put an indestructible shield in front of me and then shoot me with a railgun and the indestructible shield protects me, I'm going to think that the railgun wasn't that bad. Because I'm fine. And that was the last one. Again, this video is for fun. If you have any thoughts, let me know. Please make sure to check out Veritasium's video on the Hilbert Hotel. And check out more videos by the Paint Explainer. Because their stuff's good. Again, this is not meant to be a mockery of the Paint Explainer. I am just using the examples they set up because it was in a really easy way to get just base information. Not a mockery at all. I hope everyone has a good day. And remember, drink your petrol, eat your uranium.